guys, welcome back to another video. This week it's going to be a little bit different, and you can see the beginning of the video is also a tad bit different as well because I'm actually using a light table, a light board. I don't know, I haven't used it so long I even forget the name of it. But we are doing some traditional painting today, and as you can see here, kind of, I guess, I'm going to be using some gouache. It is the jelly gouache, the Himi one, or the Miya Himi, whatever it is you want to call it, that I had in a previous video where I kind of did like a little unboxing type thing. And before we go any further though, I just want to say hi, my name is Karina. I'm also known as the Artistic Newfie here on YouTube and other social media platforms. You can find all my links down below in the description. Links to Patreon, Etsy, and Instagram, and I think there's a couple other ones down there that I forget about all the time, but all down there. Go have a look and see if there's anything in the description that's of interest to you. Today we are painting a turtle, and I know you can't see it on the paper here, but there is a turtle on the paper, and you could kind of see off to the side I have my phone, and I'm going off of that to look at the image so I can get proper colors ish, I guess, in the right place. So let's talk about the gouache for a little bit. So I've had this Himi gouache or Miya Gouache. It's the same company. I don't know why they keep changing the names on all the different products. I've had it for about 6-7 weeks now, and I'll admit I'm having a lot more fun with it than I thought I was going to. I've had some mistakes here and there where I thought I was working on things and they were turning out real well, and in the end I didn't like what I was creating, so there are some pieces that I've done that I haven't shared with anyone, but I thought it's a new medium for me. It is unlike any other medium that I've used. A lot of people compare it to acrylic, a lot of people compare it to watercolor. I compare it to neither, other than for the simple fact that it kind of looks like acrylic, and it can be diluted to the point where you can use it as a watercolor. But for me, it's a material or a medium that I really can't place a comparison to because it doesn't feel like anything else to me. With that said, there's a lot of trial and error to get the right consistency of water mixed in with the gouache so you can paint properly. And I've watched some videos, many videos, and it's kind of, people compare it to oil painting where it's fat over lean, and that's fine and dandy if you know a little bit about oil painting, but I know nothing, so I kind of had to ruin a few pictures. This one came out fine first go, but I kind of had to ruin a few paintings in order to kind of get an idea of how much water I need to use, or how little water I should use depending on what layer I'm working on. Now, one thing for me is that I am so impatient when working with watercolors that I have a heat gun, and unfortunately I can't use that heat gun with this gouache. It just does something weird to it, so I don't even bother. But I don't like that waiting period for it to dry, and then when it's dry you have to remember that the layer of paint you're putting on the top of that needs to be thicker than the paint underneath, and there's a whole learning curve to the paint. And a lot of people that I've watched videos said that this paint is like for beginners, maybe for kids. I've never compared it to a higher end gouache, so I can't give my opinion on that. But I would like to say that if you're doing this for fun, practicing with this gouache before buying the more expensive stuff, I would like to try acrylic gouache eventually. Maybe next year I might start collecting the colors for that, because I really do like working with acrylic paint, even though I don't use it very often. But I do want to get back into using more traditional mediums for doing small paintings that I can sell originals for over on Etsy, and get back into what I really enjoy doing, and that is working with traditional mediums. And I'm not saying that I'm giving up on digital, because that's where my stickers are going to be, but I really want to leave the stationery and the stickers to the iPad and kind of get back in and get my hands dirty with some Copics and watercolors, and now this gouache. And I do have oil paints. I've had a set of oil paints, Artist Loft, nothing big and fancy, just knockoffs from Michaels that I purchased 3 years ago that are sitting behind me in a container, and I haven't used them. And I feel like if I can kind of get down this gouache thing and learn how to blend with it and that kind of thing, maybe, just maybe, the oil paint might be a little bit similar, so I'm kind of working up my nerve to get out the oil paints and see what that's all about. And I have loads of little wooden pieces that I can paint on, and I do have some that are even small enough to go inside of my little 1-inch boxes that I send my orders out in through Etsy, and they weigh like nothing, so they would be super cheap to send out. The only thing is, if I do sell that, I would provide a higher shipping option so that there can be tracking, so the shipping would be a little bit more on original paintings. That's the only thing, but that's what I kind of want to do. Like, I've really enjoyed sitting down working on this turtle, and it's not going to be the last one that I'm going to paint, because I really had fun painting this one. I might want to do something that has more intricate background, or something like a different pose or something like that. But I wanted to keep it somewhat simple, and this is also the sticker that's in my new sticker pack. It is actually listed over on Etsy as you're watching this. I did have a shop update on the 28th, so if you like how this one turned out, there is a digital version of it as a sticker over there if you want to check that out. But I feel like with, because I'm doing Patreon stuff and I'm creating these stickers, I'm thinking, why don't I sometimes take a couple of the stickers that I've drawn out digitally and do them like this, and then I can get a little bit of extra practice in. And like I said, I've dedicated Wednesdays and Thursdays for traditional art days, so I can get away from looking at the screen, even though I do have my phone next to me. And of course, you know, I use my phone for everything when it comes to looking at reference pictures and things like that. And I know this turtle is not fully spot on perfect when it comes to anatomy and the colors, but I chose the colors that were close to it. And I'm not a realism artist by any means, so I wasn't going for that. So there doesn't need to be any hate comments because my turtle doesn't look real. I wasn't going for that. But I kind of thought that maybe if I showed this process and me working on this, I couldn't do it full time because it took me an hour and a half to paint this. But if that's something that you think you might want in the future, if you want me to post some full length, there goes my phone. I should have turned it off before I even started recording. If you want me to do like a full length kind of video where I can slow down what it is that I'm doing, if you maybe want to take some of maybe my techniques. I'm not saying that they're proper gouache techniques by any means, because I don't know what I'm doing, but if you like how I paint with the gouache, or if you like how I paint with acrylics, if I ever do an acrylic video, if you would like to see like a slower version of that, I can add some music in. Clearly, no one wants to hear my voice for an hour and a half, so I could do kind of like part talking, part music, kind of explaining the steps that I'm doing, and that kind of thing, so if that's something that somebody might be interested in. But yeah, I didn't even write down the colors that I used out of the Miya Gouache set, or the Miya Gouache. We're just going to call it Miya. The Miya Gouache, the big 56 kit that I have, 56 color set. I didn't even write down what colors I used, but I did show a little clip at the beginning of me scooping out the paint. And I just wanted to say that first, when I started using the paint, I was scooping out the colors with my paintbrush. My paintbrush got real goopy real quick, so then I realized, hey, I was doing resin, and I got this big box of popsicle sticks over in the shelf that I have here. So I grabbed a handful, and you can still see them on the table here, and I just used the popsicle sticks to pick out the color, and I could let the popsicle sticks dry off to the side and kind of maybe mark down the number of the tub that I took it out of, and I can reuse the same stick over and over. And that also helps from throwing out toothpicks, because I was using toothpicks at the beginning and just mixing up the paint and throwing it out. But I figured maybe I would share that. I know some people are probably using palette knives or paintbrushes, but popsicle sticks do work. They are wood, so they will go away after a while. There goes my phone again. So that's pretty much really all I have to say. I'm going to let you guys listen to a little bit of music here. If you have any questions about the painting or any of the techniques, I don't even have techniques really, but if there's something that I did during this video, painting-wise, that you think, hey, I'd like to know how you did that, let me know, and I will do my best to answer questions. But here's a little bit of music. I will be back towards the end of the video, and I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Alright guys, so we're coming up to the end of the video here, and as you can see, I'm just putting the finishing touches on the turtle. I do go in with a little bit of watercolor as well, and kind of put in a little bit of a watered, kind of like a water background, like he's kind of swimming through the water. It probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because you probably won't be able to see a whole lot of it on the video, and that's why sometimes I don't like making art videos like that, because there's some things that I do that you can't see. Like at the beginning of the video, it took a bit for the turtle to kind of come into view and you could see what I'm painting. But I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you would like me to make more videos like this, and like I had mentioned in more detail, I am happy to do that as well. I'm trying to take a little bit of a different turn here on YouTube and not to have consistent studio vlogs, because they are getting a little bit redundant and not as fun for me to record. So I kind of want to break it up and put a little bit more emphasis on the art that I'm creating rather than being in front of the camera all the time. So I hope you enjoyed the turtle. There's going to be the unveiling of the piece in a second where I'm ripping off all the tape, and I hope you guys enjoy that. But let me know what you think, and let me know that you if you enjoy the video or not. And I also want to, before I go, give a shout out to my patrons for the month of April, and without their support, there's some things that, you know, I can't do. It's their support means everything, and just watching these videos supports me as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great upcoming weekend.